They didn't know what to expect. Some arrived with the quiet confidence of seasoned karaoke veterans. Others came with the wariness of being dragged out on a rainy Saturday by overzealous colleagues. But this wasn't a bar or a lounge. It was the city's spacious conference hall, transformed, at least for one afternoon, into a haven for musical mischief. It all began with a memo. Subject line: corporate team building. All aboard the wheels on the bus. Most had ignored it. Some had even groaned. But when the day arrived, there they were, 28 adult professionals, standing in a circle, the chairs awkwardly rearranged to look vaguely like. At the front, a bright-eyed facilitator named Angela, consultant by trade, eternal optimist by nature. Angela's first instruction: come on, everyone. Let's channel our inner children. No judgment, only joy. The first to volunteer, unexpectedly, was Greg from accounting. With his tie slightly askew and his coffee mug replaced by a tambourine, he took his seat at the front, in the so-called driver's spot. He tapped the tambourine twice and, after a dramatic pause, launched into the now iconic opening line: the wheels on the bus go round and round. At first, voices joined in tentatively, almost apologetically. Laughter rippled as Margaret from HR over-enunciated, all through the town. Her strategically messy bun bobbed in time with the chorus. Pretty soon, the whole room was singing. Some off-key, some a touch too loud. But it didn't matter. It wasn't just wheels on the bus. Angela had planned a whole set list. After every verse, the wipers on the bus go swish, swish, swish. She flipped a big, hand-lettered cue card, grinning. Next came old favorites: She'll Be Coming Round the Mountain, The Itsy Bitsy Spider, and inevitably, If You're Happy and You Know It. No one expected the accountant's rendition of The People on the Bus Go Up and Down to become a group aerobic session. Or Jen from legal, who somehow persuaded everyone to clap your hands so enthusiastically an errant watch went flying into the air. Security was called, briefly, to investigate the disturbance. It turned out to be only group laughter echoing down the marble halls. But it was the bus that tied it all together. Not a real bus, of course, but an elaborate cardboard contraption someone from facilities had constructed. Someone had even hung a sign: Route 42, Nostalgia Express. Without thinking, many participants found themselves slapping imaginary fare boxes and greeting each other as if it were the morning commute. By the third round of the song, the group had split into sections, one for the wheels, another for the horn, and others faithfully echoing the shushing SSSH, SSSH, SSSH of the imaginary bus conductor. Gone were the stiff, self-conscious professionals. In their place, a collective of adults turned children for the moment, tapping into memories of grade school, of car trips with parents, of simpler days when a song could fill an entire afternoon. No one remembered when the conga line started. Only that, by the time the bridge was sung, the so-called driver had led nearly everyone around the room, winding outside to the lobby and back in, just as the chorus swelled. Laughter had overtaken any shyness. It bore little resemblance to the crisp, animated world of Cocomelon, the viral juggernaut which inspired Angela's afternoon of musical regression. There were no pastel colors, no beaming cartoon children, no animated animals dancing in the margins. Instead, there were ties and cardigans, sensible shoes, a distinct shortage of glitter. But the music remained, and something else entirely began to bubble up. As row, row, row your boat morphed predictably into a chaotic round, and as Wheels on the Bus found itself repeated for a fourth, a fifth, and a possibly regrettable sixth time, a transformation happened. The stiffness of adulthood, the reliance on small talk and coffee, started to melt away, if only for the duration of a chorus. Of course, not everything went smoothly. The attempt to harmonize during the Wheels on the Bus Go Beep, Beep, Beep became legendary for all the wrong reasons. Brian, the CEO, missed his cue. The resulting sound was less harmonious than cacophonous, but this only brought more laughter. Lottie, from IT support, surprised absolutely everyone with a harmonica solo improvised during the third verse. The air conditioning clicked on, papers fluttered, and for a brief moment, even the most cynical among them relinquished their resistance and sang with genuine abandon. Angela, still grinning, attempted to introduce hand motions for the driver on the bus says, "Move on back." This triggered a friendly debate over whether the driver ever actually says that, and if so, with what kind of hand gesture. No consensus was reached, but several interpretations were attempted, ranging from sweeping flourishes to an urgent finger wag. By the time snacks arrived, everyone's voice was at least a little hoarse. There were finger sandwiches shaped like tires, cupcakes decorated as cartoon steering wheels, and most popular of all, tiny plastic cups of fruit punch, served from a cooler that someone jokingly christened the beverage trolley. For that hour, the world outside, the deadlines, the spreadsheets, the endless emails, seemed happily distant. The windowless conference hall felt lighter somehow, as if the barometric pressure itself had lifted. What did it mean? Why had wheels on the bus, handed from one generation to the next, from playgrounds to bedrooms to viral videos, survived and persisted, even into adulthood? Was it simple melody? The repetition? The universal memory of riding a bus, whether to school or through city streets or across rolling hills? No one offered a formal answer, but maybe it didn't need one. It was halfway through the bakers on the bus go need, an original verse courtesy of Angela's own creative ambitions, that someone finally asked the question on everyone's mind: can adults actually outgrow these songs, or do they just go dormant, waiting for the right moment?